Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and welcome back to my 30-day garden transformation. We are on day 28, which is very exciting. We are almost done. I am working out front today. This is my front fence. This is the road that I live on. I live on a county road. Sometimes it gets a little busy. We get a lot of tractors. We get a lot of trucks coming down this road. So I have to be honest, this is not my favorite place to work. I don't like working out here. I know Monty doesn't like when I work out here. He just sits at the gate and whines because he can't come out here. But I do have to pay a little attention to it sometimes. And honestly, we planted it up earlier this year with some perennials and some shrubs, and it's starting to look a lot better. I don't think it'll ever be my favorite part of the garden, but you know, curb appeal and all that kind of stuff. And I was just talking about, I think in yesterday's video, how every part of my garden has been touched. And I would say that's every part of my garden except for this part. So I really should give it a little bit of attention today on day 28. There's Monty, that's what he does. That's what he does whenever Jason and I are out here. So I already finished my daily routine. Let me show you all what I did. I started my daily routine, as always, by watering my plant stash. Then I headed out front to deadhead the Citrus Sunrise Kniphofia from Proven Winners. This is a brand new variety that will be available in garden centers next year. It's been a great bloomer for me all season long, but I'm especially excited to see how it performs next spring because it's bred to bloom earlier than many other Kniphofia varieties. If you've ever struggled to get your Kniphofia to rebloom, make sure you're deadheading the spent flower stalks all the way down to the base of the foliage. I've noticed that as soon as I remove the old blooms, the plant rewards me with a fresh flush of flowers within about a week. Deadheading is not my favorite garden chore, but the extra blooms definitely make it worthwhile. After that, I spent a few minutes pulling weeds in this bed before giving the perennials and shrubs a midsummer feeding with an all-purpose fertilizer. This area has pretty poor soil and hasn't been amended like the rest of my garden, so I figured the plants would appreciate a little extra nutrition. To finish up my daily routine, I planted my one plant for the day, this beautiful Cleveland sage that my friend Deb gave me. If you've never smelled Cleveland sage, do yourself a favor and find one. It has the most wonderful, spicy herbal fragrance, and the only downside to planting it here is that I won't walk by it often enough to enjoy the scent. But since it's a California native that naturally grows on dry hillsides, I think it's going to thrive in this spot with very little water, attention, or TLC. Okay, so daily routine is all done. Now I am moving on to my focus garden task for day 28. And I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to give this area in front of my fence a little bit of TLC, right? That's all I want to do. One of you left a really, really cool comment the other day. You were quoting a Chinese proverb saying that the best fertilizer for a garden is the gardener's shadow or something like that. But I love that. I love that idea. I love that thought that the best thing you can do for your garden is just to kind of pay attention to it. I always think that that's why people say plants grow better when you talk nice to them, when you say nice things to them. It's not about saying nice things. It's more about you're just paying attention to them, which really needs to happen. So it's time on day 28 to give this area a little bit of TLC. And even though I don't love working out here, just, with the traffic and everything like that, at least I can pay it a little bit of attention. So I'm not going to do anything big. I'm not going to plant anything. I'm just going to kind of weed, deadhead, just kind of pay a little bit of attention to it. Let me show you all what I do have planted here. We planted all these shrubs and perennials up earlier this I'm sorry, I'm distracted. There's a hummingbird on the Kniphofia, and that's so cute. I love that. So we planted these up earlier this year, and it's really starting to look good. The perennials are looking fantastic, and the shrubs and trees are starting to fill in a little bit as well. So I have some Citrus Sunrise Kniphofia, which is a new one for Proven Winners. Obviously, you can see it's a hummingbird attractor, which is great. And I have to say, they're growing pretty well. This is horrible soil out here. I haven't amended the soil. I haven't done anything to it. Literally, the only thing that we did to the soil out here is we added some arborist wood chips, a couple inches, like 4 to 6 inches, really, really thick layer. And we still have all these weeds growing, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. So you guys might hear me pause or cut the video, and that's just when the cars are driving by. it's just one of those things. Like I said, we live on a county road, and most of the day it's quiet, but in the mornings it gets a little busy because everyone's going to work and all the farmers are going to the ag fields and all that kind of stuff. So if I cut, that's why. Okay, so anyway, I have the Citrus Sunrise Nyphophia that's looking really good. I have the pink phlox from Proven Winners. That's looking okay, but I planted this guy in my trial garden bed, and it took a year to really kind of settle in a little bit. So this one and that one right there, I think that will come with time and look better with time. The thing that is looking really good, really amazing, is the Treasure Trove Rudbeckia. This, I mean, it's happy as a clam right here. It is so very happy. It's blooming really well. I would love to have even more of that kind of out here, and I do have some in my plant stash. I don't really want to plant it today, but I might plant some more of these out here because they're obviously doing really well, which is great. And then right here you can see I have a Miss Molly butterfly bush. I actually have 3 Miss Mollys, which I think is going to be really pretty, kind of repetition all the way down. Hold on, there's a car coming. So I just planted that Cleveland sage right there. I think that will be really pretty, especially next to these roses right here. And these roses were here when we moved in. This rose and this rose. And those were the only 2 things that were out here in the front. And I have to be honest, I've tried to pull these. I've tried to remove these multiple times, and they just keep coming back. They obviously have been here for years and years and years, and I don't think I'm going to pull them. They're actually really pretty. They're like this orangey type of bloom. But you can see it's growing like crazy, right? And I haven't touched it. I haven't fertilized it. No, it is not hooked up to drip. It is definitely not hooked up to drip, and it's still looking that good. So obviously I just need to leave that rose there. I think I'm going to cut the crazy canes back, kind of, it's a shrub rose. So I'm going to kind of trim it up a little bit today, make it look a little bit nicer. Another Miss Molly. And then I have some lemon cypress. I have a trio of lemon cypress right here. These guys are going to get really big, and, give some privacy, some sound protection, a little bit of sound protection. I just think that they will look really good right there once they fill in. And I love the look of the lemon cypress with this Hortsman Atlas cedar from Isley. I love this plant out here. I can see when we're driving out, when we're pulling out, I can see this plant next to the lemon cypress, and it's so pretty. That one, the 10-year height is about 12 feet tall and 8 feet wide. So all these are going to be really kind of squished in, which is what I want, because 1, I want privacy, and 2, I want sound protection right here on this fence. On the other side of the fence, I have yardline viburnum that are growing. They're looking really good. They're just starting to reach the top of the fence, and those will get about 12 feet tall as well. So in, I don't know how many years, 5 years or something like that, I should have much more privacy here with this fence, which I'm very excited about and eager to have that. And then I have some plumbago right here that's looking really good. I planted 2 of my podocarpus. This was part of my podocarpus stash that I had. And these 2 transplants are doing really well. And I think those will look really pretty. And then finally, last thing is I have another Miss Molly right there. And then it gets into my neighbor's yard. And I didn't want to, obviously I'm not going to go that far. So anyway, this area it's looking a lot better. It's looking so much better than it did last year. I've planted a couple things here that haven't really survived, haven't done well. Jason and I planted a ton of daffodils. We transplanted them from the zigzag planter and brought them out here, and they didn't do well. So it's kind of a hard thing knowing what's gonna thrive in this area and what is just going to suffer. All right, enough talking. Let me start giving this area a little bit of attention, a little bit of TLC, a little bit of weeding, a little bit of pruning, a little bit of deadheading. not like that. I know you don't like that. Poor thing. He was like yelping and whining on the other side of the fence the whole time. Oh, Monty, you are my shadow. That is true. So I probably spent about 45 minutes out here, and really, I should just title this video more weeding, because that's mostly what I did. A little bit of pruning, a little bit of deadheading, mostly weeding. I don't know if you all can even tell a difference. I can tell a difference. It looks neater, but there's still bindweed and different weeds and stuff like that I gotta get. But I think that's enough. I'm getting hot and Monty's starting to get a little panicky. So anyway, just kind of cleaned it up, cut back the no-name roses. I think they will look a lot better cut back, and I probably should hook them up to drip and like maybe start taking care of them, I would say. I don't know why I didn't want them in the first place out here. I think they were looking really, really scrubby when we first moved in. So they definitely look better than when we first moved in, probably with the mulch. They probably like the mulch or something like that. And then maybe they're getting a little bit of water from the irrigation on the other side of the fence. I bet that's what's happening. They're probably so rooted in, they're getting water deep down. I bet that's what's going on. So anyway, a little bit of curb appeal, a little bit of TLC happening out here. I think as this kind of grows in over the next couple of years, it's going to start looking really, really good. It'll start looking really pretty. And I do want to add some rocks and some, boulders and different things like that. But for now, this is good. Gave it a little bit of attention. Not much going on, much more focus on the inside. So now I just have a little bit of cleanup to do from all the cuttings and the weeds that I pulled, and then I am done with day 28. I cannot believe I only have 2 days left. It's probably a good thing because I'm running really low on kind of focused garden tasks to do. I'm gonna have to start over with the beginning, which is not a bad thing. That's kind of the nature of it, right? But 28 days done, 2 more days to go, and then we can say we are done with this challenge. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.